All right, welcome everyone to our Wednesday night series here. We are at EchoPark. You may remember this as Atlanta Motor Speedway, but now we're at EchoPark Speedway for the IWM Cup Series event tonight. I'm Rick Souza here in the booth with Noah Evans, and Noah, this is a fast track.
Yeah, it really is. And while some fans prefer the older, much more rougher Atlanta, you got to admit this racetrack has put on some amazing finishes in the last couple of years. Heck, it put on an amazing finish just this past Sunday night. Looking forward to this race here. It's always a pleasure to come back to a track like Atlanta. Super Speedway style racing, now one of the three tracks that we consider a super speedway here. It's going to be a lot of fun. I expect a lot of really, really tight pack racing here. It's going to be a fun race tonight.
Yeah, expect lots of 2-wide racing here, occasionally 3-wide racing. You've got to be on your on your game here. It gets to be pretty chaotic.
It certainly will be, and I think as we see the race go on, thankfully we don't have to worry about rain on iRacing. So I think these guys they'll just be flat out most of the time, trying to run up with each other, get into the packs nice and smooth, and especially with that changed pit road entry now on the back straightaway as well. It's going to make for a lot tougher, but you're also going to have to race a lot smarter here tonight.
Absolutely. All right, so let's cover just what's happening. We've got about 2 or so minutes left to practice. The guys are just getting out there and having fun here, getting practice underway. But let's talk briefly about what our race is tonight.
Yeah, so EchoPark Speedway, formerly Atlanta Motor Speedway, it's 1.5 miles, so it's one of the shorter half miles on the schedule. However, it is the fastest half mile. I mean, these guys are hitting really fast speeds, almost up to 200 miles an hour here at Atlanta Motor Speedway. 85-degree track temperature. This is one of the cooler tracks we've seen, just like at Chicagoland just last week. It's still going to be a cool track temperature here at Atlanta Motor Speedway, EchoPark. 3 sets of tires here. It's a super speedway. You're not going to have to really worry about tires all that much, but you need to be smart with them. You can't just start throwing away sets. So try to conserve them early on and make a push towards the front when we get down to the last couple laps or so. We'll have a 75% fuel limit. As usual, stage brake will be at lap 39. That's the only stage brake that we have in the IWM Cup Series. Only have one stage brake. Keys to tonight's event: don't lose the draft. If you lose that, you're going to have a really bad time trying to get back up to the front. You're going to burn a lot of your stuff up, and by the time you get back up there, it's either the white flag or your tires are already shot, and you have no chance of catching back up. 2, staying out of trouble, especially staying out of trouble early on in this race. You don't want to get caught up in anything right off the rip. You've got to be able to just kind of stay, whether front of the pack, rear of the pack, navigate your way through these wrecks that are inevitably going to happen. So just stay out of trouble early the best that you can. And finally, pit strategy, fuel pit strategy. It can turn into a fuel mileage race. It has before. There's no reason we won't see it again. But keep an eye out on that fuel gauge tonight. These guys have the new fuel gauge courtesy of iRacing. They're going to have to keep an eye out on it.
Absolutely. Also, the good news is that we'll see an increased speed on pit road. iRacing has tweaked the process here to mimic more closely what we see on Sunday with NASCAR. So it's not unusual that we'll see 4 tire stops in the 9-10 second range. So look for that. We'll be watching that just as much. So practice is coming to a close here in a couple seconds. We're about to jump over to that. All right, that wraps up practice, and we'll get to qualifying. If you're unfamiliar, we'll fill you in. All right, we're watching. Qualifying is just underway here, and if this is your first time watching, all of this is happening at the same time. It's all concurrent, so all the drivers are out there getting in their qualifying laps. Here, unlike some of the other super speedways, you've really got to get out there and qualify. Staying in the back is not really an option. It's a huge risk.
Yeah, you really have got to just get the pedal to the metal. Try to get yourself a starting spot up front. Ideally, you want to be somewhere within those first four rows. That really is your kind of sweet spot for staying out of trouble. Once you get to about row 5, all the way back through the rest of the field, that's kind of your danger zone. Getting through that 10th all the way back, it's a tough spot to be in. Middle of traffic, especially here, is a tough place to navigate. As narrow as this racetrack is, these guys are really going to have to start using their heads and really just figure out how to navigate it. It's not a racetrack for the faint of heart. Banking's been up, speeds are up, and we've heard from NASCAR as well that the possibility of some spoiler changes coming up for super speedways. So maybe we'll see that transfer over to iRacing coming up in the next couple of months. And right now it's Luke Bullard on the top of the board here, 2-lap qualifying. Here at Atlanta, Jordan Weaver will take top.
Yeah. Just as we say it, someone else jumps in there and takes over that spot. And John Ledger puts up a smoking time. Now here, I think here the second lap is your fastest lap.
Yep.
Here, so. Number of drivers still on track trying to get their laps in. Watching, this is Marcus Adams out there. Haven't seen Marcus in a while, I don't think.
Yeah, I saw Marcus post a GIF of the Undertaker on Discord, so it kind of a sign that, hey, I'm back. I'm ready to come back here and compete. And let's see where he'll qualify here. Can I find him on here, or am I just going crazy?
This is his first lap.
Okay, I was going to say. Give credit where credit is due. How about Todd Merkel in the 2 machine, going up to row number 2 in the 3rd spot right now? We'll see if he can hold on to that spot. Marcus Adams will take the line. Good enough for the 19th place spot. He's going to have to pick it up a little bit here.
On the back stretch right now. We'll see how he does as he comes around through turn 3 into turn 4. He was up there in practice pretty much the whole session, putting in some big laps.
See what that second time will do, and that'll put him to 4th.
Yep. Big move. All right, Roberto Ramirez on track. Who else is yet to qualify? Number of drivers still haven't qualified. Well, I say a number. 3 chose not to qualify. That's Andrew Pileshi, Casey Herschel, and Calvin Allison. They'll start in the back. All right, qualifying is over in about 30 or so seconds. While we're waiting on that, let's take a quick look at our current standings points-wise.
Yeah, it's been a great run for Kyle Smalley so far here this season. He's just done an impeccable job of keeping himself up front. If he's not winning races, he's usually in the top 3, and that's what's kept him up in that first place spot. Matthew Wood in second. He's cut that gap down a lot in the last couple of weeks. You'll have Walker Thomas in the 3rd place spot. It'll be Jared Wishon and Andrew Pileshi in the top 5. Let's go and take a trip down to the 16th place spot, which is the final spot for the chase. It's Jordan Weaver, Aaron Jackson, and Christoph Hall all jockeying for that position. Not far off from each other either. About 16 points or so separates those 3 drivers. Brian Jones still in the safe spot right now in 15th. He's got a fair amount between him and Jordan Weaver. And let's get ready to get your starting lineup.
All right, let's see. Yep, we are getting ready to qualify. Let's go ahead. To grid up here. Let's go ahead and bring you the starting grid for tonight's event.
On pole position, driving the number 51 machine. Been up front a lot so far this season. It's Kyle Smalley starting in the first place spot. He's outside a blazing fast lap. It's Ty Bostic.
All right, there we go.
There we go. Row number 2, a blazing fast lap for Todd Merkel. He'll be starting in the third place spot. Best effort of the year. To his outside, it's Marcus Adams in his return to the IWM Cup Series. Row number 3 is Jeremy Brown and Roberto Ramirez in the 25 machine. They'll roll off P5 and P6. Row 4, Nathan Yarnell in the 55. Great lap by him. He'll be starting 7th, and Walker Thomas will be starting in 8th. Row number 5 is going to be Aaron Jackson, and Jared Wishon round out the top 10.
Row 6, we got Zach Lindgren in P11 with Brad Peters to the outside. In row 7, you've got Michael Anthony and John Ledger. Row 8 brings us Justin Lewis to the inside and Jordan Weaver to the outside. Row 9, you've got Luke Bullard and Marco Berube. And in row 10, you have got David Watts and J.R. Houston.
Through the final couple rows of this field here, Brian Jones in 21st. It'll be Calvin Allison in 22nd. 23rd is Andrew Pileshi, and 24th is Casey Herschel.
All right, that runs out our field for tonight's event. 24 drivers starting here at EchoPark for the Quaker State 200. Thank you for tuning in tonight and joining us. We certainly do appreciate all of you who are watching live tonight. All right, 130 laps, our first stage at lap 39. And this is one of those tracks where don't blink because you're going to miss something.
It happened so fast here at Atlanta, and we saw that on Sunday. Carson Osevar looked like he had it coming to the white flag there, and it all just kind of fell apart there at the end for him. Unfortunate, but that just shows you how fast things can change at Atlanta. It's one of those tracks that you have to react so quickly. It's super speedway speeds on a mile and a half. It is so hard to react that quickly, especially at this level.
All right, field is getting formed up. Pace car drops off.
And let's go racing here at Atlanta. Good jump for Smalley.
Right out front, Kyle Smalley, the 51, has got a little bit of gap over the field, but here they come, that freight train here. You cannot stop at Atlanta.
Like Merkel, a little bit indecisive there on which line to go with. He'll stick to the inside for now. They come off turn 4. It'll be Kyle Smalley leading lap number 1.
Still 2x3 cautions out.
David Watts. Trouble up in 1.
That's unfortunate. David had a really good start tonight to the race, and unfortunately there's a meatball already. He may be out already. David's right there down low. A little bit of contact with the apron.
Looked like a bad case of 3 wide here. Let's see. Yeah, just not quite clear there.
Unfortunate for the 54.
Damage to Ledger, Bullard.
Unfortunately, David, since he impacted the front of that car with the nose, that he got a meatball. He's unfortunately got to spend some time in the pits getting that car repaired. All right, well.
That was fast.
Yeah, Yeah, that was a little faster than we had anticipated.
Well, one thing that is interesting to me, if we pan down to pit road, you got some takers already. Jordan Weaver is taking the head of this one here. John Ledger, Luke Bullard, Calvin Allison, Houston, Herschel, Berube, Adams, all coming down pit road early, which is a very interesting call. I'm not sure what the strategy is here. I guess it's to make it to the end of the stage, but then again, it's at lap 40, so I guess these guys would have enough fuel to make it.
Yeah, right now
end,
our calculation, yeah, our calculation was 40 to 44 laps, but that was based on probably running in fifth gear. I don't know how this is set up here tonight. We'll have to see how it goes. A couple of those guys that were caught up, Ledger, I think even the 45 may have had a little bit of nose damage at all in that incident with Watts, so they're probably in there getting some repairs made. All right, so we're thank you for tuning in tonight to the IWM broadcast of the IWM Cup Series. Certainly appreciate all of you who watch our broadcast live, and those of you who tune in later on replay. We thank you so much for that. It is because of you that we do this. So first caution flew pretty early so far here at EchoPark Speedway, but once that pace car crosses that start-finish line, we'll go back to green next time by. All right, Kyle Smalley, Todd Merkel will be side by side. Guess this time you've got Merkel taking the inside. I'm sorry, the outside, and Smalley taking the inside. That second row changed up a little bit. You've got Jeremy Brown and Ty Bostic there. Bostic dropped from second to fourth, but he's still up front. Biggest mover I see so far is Brian Jones.
Yeah, and I think the strategy there for the 22 is taking that inside line kind of lets him get a shot at the leader earlier. If he can get with the 51, get him a good push, now the 22 has the choice of whether to run top or bottom and possibly get a shot behind or in front of the 2 of Merkel, which, give credit where credit is due, has been great so far. He did a really good job in early qualifying and practice. Huge opportunity for the 2 machine here, especially for a lot of these guys up front. Bostic, Merkel, Ramirez, Yarnell, all of these guys looking for a win this season. Their first win this season. Here we go. Coming back through the EchoPark Automotive Restart Zone, and we are back to green here at EchoPark Speedway. Big check up in the front. And that is great news for Ty Bostic. And Rick, I just talked about that strategy there for the 22 machine. Looked like it paid off for him.
The 2 of Merkel sliding way back, kind of bogging down that outside line, but trying to get it back together. He's got a little bit of help from at least the 67, and it looks like the 46. I think that's
way out of shape.
And Merkel now has a 55 in front of him. And I think Jeremy Brown is still there behind him trying to make it all happen. But up front, you've got a lot of pressure. Kyle Smalley out there, the 22 of Bostic right there. And then it becomes too wide behind him with the 25 of Roberto Ramirez and the 1 of Walker Thomas. And look at this, the 7 of Justin Lewis up 10 spots.
Great run for Lewis. He's definitely been needing one. Has not had the best of luck the last couple of weeks, but he's been on the trend up. It's just about closing out now for the 7 of Lewis. Been doing an excellent job this season, just struggled to get some good finishes at the end, either getting caught up in a wreck or not having the pit stop he wants, but a good run for him tonight. Possibly move him up a little bit in the standings. And hey, we head to North Wilkesboro next week, a track he won at last year in the All-Star race.
All right, 9 laps complete as we head towards marching towards our stage break. Couple cars out there, but a lap down. That's John Ledger and Jordan Weaver.
Bostic has put himself right where he needs to. He's in that second place spot here. That outside line still struggling a little bit to form up. So he's in a good spot here. He can try to maintain that second place there. He really can kind of manipulate which line he wants to go to. If he knows the outside gets a run, he can just go up there, try to take a run with them. If the inside's moving, he just sticks with them.
Yeah, just a little warning that that Andrew Palesci was a little off track there, but he seems to get that back underway, although he is slipping back a little bit at the tail end of the field.
Doing a great job so far leading this outside line. It just doesn't look like they've been able to hook up just yet. That's Thomas right behind him in the number 1 machine. Behind him, the 17 of Jared Wishin and Nathan Yarnell in the 55. All these drivers still trying to find their way up to it. It's not quite at the strength that the inside's at, but it looks like they're trying to find some speed here as Justin Lewis is going to lead lap number 12.
All right, 7 car out in front. He's got the 1 of Walker Thomas behind him. Justin Lewis takes over here in Atlanta. See if the weather has changed at all here. Let's just bring that information up. Nope, relatively cool. 79 air, 84 track.
Track temp's gone down by 1. I'm sorry, up by 4. I was looking at air temp. Track temp has gone up by only 4.
As the night gets on, this will be transitioning from our day race or afternoon race through the golden hour into a nighttime event.
Lewis will lead that one as well. It's just barely getting a lead there for Justin Lewis. It looks like that car struggling in the turns there. He loses a big gap once he gets into the corner, but as soon as he gets on the A straightaway, that 7 machine just picks up a lot of speed there.
Yeah, he's also, Kyle Smalley's there. He's got some help. Ty Bostic is there behind the 51. But there's a little bit of shakeup going on. We'll see how it all plays out. But you got a couple balls out drivers up there with Smalley and Walker Thomas in the 1. I'm sure that 1 wants to get behind that 51. As we continue 2 wide here in Atlanta. Let's ride on board with Ty Boston. How's that?
Good view for him.
You think with the repave that this track would be nice and smooth, and it's not.
It really isn't. It's one of the bumpier super speedways out here. It reminds me kind of Auto Club a little bit, if you remember how bumpy that track was. It was so rough on these cars, and they are moving around a lot here. It is really unsettling, these cars here. For Ty Bostic, this is a really tough spot to be in his third in really any super speedway race, because you can't move up because you have the outside car there, but you also can't really make any real progress forward without really shifting the leader into the corner.
And this track has got a huge penalty if you drift towards that white, red, white stripe there that delineates between the racing surface and the apron. There's a lot of, even though it's a progressive bank track, there's a lot to be said for that angle between the racing surface and the apron. You tag that in one of these corners, you're going to wind up in the wall. Good battle up front between these drivers. All these racers doing a great job staying together. Right now, Jordan Weaver is in that lucky dog position. Yellow does come out. Jordan Weaver will get the wave around.
It is so crazy to see. We were just talking about it, how bumpy this racetrack is, how much these cars move around. Just how rigid the next gens are. If you looked at some old footage of NASCAR back in the day with the big spring style cars back in the 90s, they would just float across the racetrack. But these next gens, they're a lot more stiff. They aren't as fluid as the old bodied cars were. You can see Lewis there. He's got sparks from under his car. That just shows you how precise these setups has got to be here at Atlanta. Yeah,
the rigidity of the frame and the underbelly of these cars really makes it it's punishing for the drivers. I remember when this next gen car came out, or Gen 7 car came out, it was brutal, and they had to really make a lot of adjustments just to make it tolerable for the bodies of the drivers. All right, 51 and Kyle Smalley out in front still.
And also, too, you looked at some wrecks from Atlanta when the next-gen car first came out. Joey Logano had an incident where he rear-ended the car. I mean, the car really was on top of the wall. He was able to continue, and he finished, like, top 5. So these next-gen cars were a lot more rigid back in the day than they are now, to the detriment of some drivers. We saw Alex Bowman had a huge hit, Cody Ware had a huge hit at Texas a couple years ago. When the next-gen car first came out, was in concussion protocol for 3 or 4 weeks.
Oh, yeah.
Alex Bowman suffered the same fate there as well. So
Kurt Busch.
Yeah, Kurt Busch as well. And they put a lot of work into these race cars to get them to where they can crunch. And that really is where the safety of any race car comes in, is in the crunch. The car has to be able to take that momentum and put it somewhere. If it has nowhere to go, it really is going to go to whatever the most movable thing is in that car. Unfortunately, a lot of times that's the driver.
All right, just a quick update that David Watts is still in the pits trying to make repairs, and he still shows a meatball as the car is under repair. A lot of action here as Smalley, Lewis, Bosick, Roberto Ramirez continues his climb. The big movers here, let me just bring up that biggest gainers again is Lewis and J.R. Houston. And I'll speak for J.R. Houston. We've seen this week after week where his qualifying effort isn't exactly where he'd like it to be, but he finds a way to get back in the game.
He really does, and Houston's been doing a great job so far this season. He really has started to come on late. It's been fun to watch Houston get out here and run.
Right now, our status, Kyle Smalley is leading the points. He's currently right there up in front, battling Justin Lewis. We've got Walker Thomas back there in P5, Jared Wishin P6, Andrew Pileshi back in P15. The one we're missing tonight is Matthew Wood. He is not able to make tonight's event. That's why it's showing him off track, and he is off track. He's not here tonight. Fortunately, you see the 51 has now, they found their way to the 2 cars a lap down.
Caution in the back.
Oh, caution's out. That's saved. That is good news for Jordan Weaver and John Ledger. That allows Jordan Weaver to get that lucky dog position and stay on the lead lap. Well, get on the lead lap, and that keeps John Ledger just 1 lap down. Unfortunately, I think Andrew Pileshi and possibly Luke Bullard, we'll have to go back and take a look at just what happened here.
Yeah, there's a lot of cars. Berube, Bullard, Pileshi, Jones, Anthony. The 46 was involved as well. The 49 of Herschel involved in that as well. A lot of good cars caught up in that one.
Try to find out where it starts.
Right there, up front with the 14 of Anthony. You can see it right there.
Oh yeah, let's back up just a little.
Before, just before entry into 1.
Looks like they're nearly 3 wide. And that's the 46 up high and the 14.
Looks like they were just kind of going for the same spot there, because it looks like the 46 is moving down a little bit. The 14 is moving up just a little bit as well, and that gets everybody out of sorts.
Yeah, so the 99 and the 3 get out of shape.
Great save by both of them as well. They did an amazing job saving those cars with a lot less damage.
Yep. All right. Well, a lot of drivers on pit road here.
Yeah, and that's kind of to be expected as well. It's almost to the end of the stage here. Just get your stuff and go. Unless you're a lot of these guys up front who weren't involved in the wreck, if they feel like they have the fuel to do it, go for it. Try to get those stage points. A lot of those guys behind you aren't really going to have that shot here. So just go for it.
All right, number of drivers making their way off pit road and joining the field. Number of drivers still on pit road: Brown, Anthony, Weaver, Bullard, Berube, Ledger, Herschel, Watts, etc. Still all on pit road. Obviously, Watts from that earlier incident. I doubt he's coming back. But others are just getting some repairs made. Doesn't hurt if you got the time to get that extra little bit of repairs made and then get back out here.
So it's all Kyle Smalley up in front so far. Had some threats from Justin Lewis. Couldn't quite fully grab the lead there, so it'll be Bostic on the outside this time.
Yeah, kind of a replay of how we started. All right, lights are off on the pace car as they lead this field onto the backstretch. Number of drivers just getting off pit road and racing to catch back up to the field to take this green flag as we get this restart underway here. 32 laps in. We do have a stage break in just 6 laps from now. As we watch the pace car lead this field into turn 4. Kyle Smalley is that control car to the inside. Ty Bostic to the outside. Green flag flies here at Atlanta. Back underway here. 7 laps to go before the stage.
Good jump for Smalley. Did exactly what he needed to there, but will that open up the door for one of these guys behind him to make a jump for the top line? Both of them have an opportunity here. Let's see who'll take it.
25 of Roberto Ramirez dips right in there, and he's now 1-2 with Justin Lewis in 3, single file. That high line's really not formed up at this point.
No, they really have not found anybody, and Nathan Yarnell is the one leading it, and I think he's banking on somebody else trying to go with him. But unfortunately, no one's wanting to go up there. Another big mover as well back in this field is Brad Peters in the 67 machine. He's gone all the way up to 6th, and now he's going to be the one to jump to the outside. Big run for the 67.
Oh, Calvin Allison's right there too. Also a big mover. He's up 16 spots from his qualifying back in the tail end of this field. Who said you can't go from last to first?
Right. Oh, big moment there for Peters. Almost didn't clear the 88 machine. Aaron Jackson and Andrew Pileshi find themselves in the top 10 now.
Good move for Pileshi again. He was one of the drivers along with Allison. They were back there at the tail end of this field. Solid run, just 4 laps to go before our stage break. Kyle Smalley continues to show the way, a little bit of a gap between himself and the field. Casey Herschel with the 49 on pit road. Justin Lewis pokes his nose out.
And Justin Lewis, a big run to the outside. Now he's going to have a chance to go for the lead here at Atlanta, and he gets it that time by.
He's got the 67 of Brad Peters right on his tail with Calvin Allison behind him. They're working together to lead that outside line. Are we 3 wide?
Yes, we are, Smalley! Oh, man!
He saves it. He comes back up and blends in, but just barely.
Wow. And Smalley, his stage win hopes come to a close here. This is the white flag for the stage. It's anybody's game now. Lewis trying to throw a block in the 67 of Peters. Can't get there. Here they come down the front straightaway. Who's it going to be? It's going to be Brad Peters taking the stage win. Wow. Unbelievable. What a run by the 67 there at the end.
And what happened to, what caused the Kyle Smalley incident to cycle him back? All right, what we know, winners and the points for this stage. Brad Peters, as you know, wins the stage with Justin Lewis in 2nd, Nathan Yarnell in 3rd, Walker Thomas in 4th, Roberto Ramirez in 5th, Calvin Allison gets 6th, Merkel in 7th, J.R. Houston in 8th, Aaron Jackson in 9th, and Ty Bostic rounds out the stage points here at Atlanta. Trying to find out just what happened with Smalley. See if we get close here.
So they're not quite 3 wide yet. So it looks like he made contact with Lewis there. It looks like, was it a push from Ramirez? Yeah, so he got
Just
I
a
guess
little
he
bit of a
checked
rub.
up
Yeah.
and got in it with the 25. I mean, for Smalley, that was the best case scenario.
Oh my
For
gosh.
something like that, yeah, that was best case scenario for him to not completely junk this car. Everybody busy on pit road.
Absolutely.
It's like Smalley got there late.
And now we're seeing all of the times. We're going to have to relearn these pit times. That's not giving us the data we want quite yet. We'll see how this all plays out. See if that helps us at all. Nope, nothing yet. All right, so just looking back through the field, Justin Lewis, a number of drivers took, I'm guessing, 4 tires. So out front comes Calvin Allison. He puts himself back out front. He'll have J.R. Houston to his outside, but I think J.R. Houston took fuel only, as did Brian Jones.
Which might be a good call for them, honestly. I mean, you're not going to be really worrying about tires here this late on in this race. I would just go ahead and take my fuel and try to run on that. You really could kind of split this race with tire sets, just run 2 and get it over with.
All right, 43 laps complete. Lights are out on the pace car. Calvin Allison will be leading this restart. When we go back to green. Yeah, just shocked by these new times.
I mean, that's blazing fast. Almost inhuman.
All right, back underway. Calvin Allison leads the field. Good jump by the 88.
Huge jump for Allison. And now you can see this track really starting to get dark. And that is some real blacktop right there.
Well, the lights are on as we begin to transition into a night race. Calvin Allison moves up to the outside line with the 20 of J.R. Houston. Those are teammates in Misfit Mafia Racing.
Really should have been one of the keys to the race, but usually at Atlanta, you don't really see a lot of teams working together. It really is kind of a fend for yourself kind of deal. But really good running for Misfit Mafia right now. 2nd, 4th, and 10th. Both of those spots kind of swapping back and forth. They really have come on the last couple of weeks.
Yeah, Walker Thomas and Justin Lewis are up there as well for 13-20 and balls out, but certainly a bit of a challenge. Justin Lewis dips into that 2nd position there. He's got a little bit of help with balls out driver Right behind him, Walker Thomas.
Yeah, Thomas has been very sneaky good this season. He's stolen a couple wins here and there, and he's just been very consistent, but he's been very quiet as well, and that really is what you got to do to be able to win and win championships in a series like this. Just being there 90% of the time is what matters, and he's been there all season long. He's done a great job of it.
Calvin Allison slips back to fourth here as Justin Lewis, and look at Nathan Yarnell currently showing in third.
Yeah, he's been doing a great job here.
Yeah, 55 of Nathan Yarnell with the lead motorsports up to third. Solid racing here from these drivers. This track, you just don't have a whole lot of visibility up when you're in a draft like that.
You really don't, and that is one of the struggles of the next-gen car. It takes you a while to figure out where that nose is. Ask me how I know, is somebody who does this for real. But yeah, it's super low visibility in these cars, especially with the A-post right there. If you miss a wreck with that, someone goes off track, you are definitely not going to see it until it's right in front of you.
All right, solid racing so far.
How about this in fourth place? 45, Jordan Weaver's found his way up to the top 5.
Wow, that's fabulous. The 49 of Casey Herschel there. He's going a lap down. Single file for the first 5 or 6 cars here, with Justin Lewis leading this field. Really, for that matter, the whole field is single file. Is that not correct?
Yeah, it's pretty much single file all the way back, minus Casey Herschel, who's been struggling with some damage. But yeah, single file all the way back.
Michael Anthony leads this second group that's back here. That's Michael Anthony, Brad Peters, Jeremy Brown, Jared Wishin, Marcus Adams. Some good drivers back in this group that is back about, let's see what that number is, about 3 or so, almost 4 seconds back behind the lead pack.
Like a second pack here being led by the 14 of Michael Anthony. You're just saying, and yep, there it is right there. So there's a couple of cars that unfortunately got caught up in some wrecks. Looks like he's a Pied Piper for those drivers.
Yeah, they've got to kind of work together a little bit more, or else they're going to stay back. Getting a feel for Walker Thomas. Let's get some chart information here. Walker Thomas is 182, 85, 86 going into turn 3. Let's see what happens at 1 if it's any better. Still, I saw it blip up to 190 plus here.
trying to get there.
Yep.
If you're farther back in this draft, you're going to have a lot more speed, though.
Yeah, we saw some smoking times from a number of drivers for sure. Well, laps continue to tick away. Just 73 laps to go. 58 laps complete here in Atlanta for the IWM Cup Series. We thank you for tuning in to our channel tonight. Certainly appreciate it. If you do get an opportunity, click that subscribe button. So keep in touch with you, and we'll see you. We got our Wednesday night series here with the IWM Cup Series. Our Thursday night series is the INRS. Both leagues mirror what happens on Sunday, except INRS does it 4 days or so before, and IWM does it 3-4 days after. So good bookends.
Yeah, it's always good to have that kind of action. And if you didn't like the race on Sunday, which I don't know why you wouldn't have, you get to come back and kind of watch a replay of it here on the IWM Cup Series. Get a preview of the next race. If you're unable to watch the Cup race, hey, you're getting two good pieces of entertainment there.
Absolutely. Yeah, tomorrow night we'll be at North Wilkesboro for the Window World 225 with the INRS Series.
Yeah, it's so good to see North Wilkesboro have a points race back as well. First time since the 90s that we're able to see it back. And I had the pleasure of going up there just before they had reopened it. And it had been confirmed to be on the NASCAR schedule. It looked like it had no chance of coming back, and through a lot of hard work by a lot of good people, it's managed to come back. And it's been great racing so far the last couple of years. It's been great with the next-gen car, and it's been fun to watch. And somebody who I'm not expecting to go a lap down this early, Roberto Ramirez, has now gone a lap down, which I don't know quite what happened to the 25.
Yeah, he got out of shape and cycled back to the end of the pack, lost the draft, and here we are. And back there's also the 49 of Casey Herschel. He's back here. He is towards the end of the pack. Casey Herschel is 18 laps down.
Yeah, he took a really heavy hit at the right front. Definitely took him out of contention for a little bit.
All right, 63 laps complete, just coming up to the halfway point here at EchoPark Speedway in the Quaker State 200. Your leader, Justin Lewis, finds himself out front with the number 1 of Walker Thomas behind him with Nathan Yarnell. That's 1, 2, and 3. Looking back, Kyle Smalley is working his way back up with the lead group. He's currently sitting back there in 11th. Tougher back there. He's got a lot of drivers around him. He's got the 22 of Ty Bostic is back there. Those two guys were 1 and 2. They started on the front row. They find themselves currently back there in 10th and 11th. Back there, you've got Aaron Jackson there, J.R. Houston, all there mid-pack. And we were talking earlier about what's happening with this second group. They've kind of fallen back a little bit, Noah.
They really have. I mean, they've lost about, a whole turn on them, and now about half a straightaway.
Yeah, this group with Marcus Adams, Michael Anthony, Jeremy Brown, the 17 of Jared Wishin, and Marco Berube. And I think that's John Ledger as well following, and that's that group there. But as you can see from the track graph in the upper right-hand corner, they are just entering the backstretch while the lead pack is already exiting. All right, Justin Lewis out in front. We haven't talked about fuel strategy and where we were. Based on our calculations, we're estimating around 42 or so laps per.
At about 30-something laps. Yeah, 30-something laps ago at the end of the stage. About a quarter tank.
Yeah, so looking at Lewis right there and his telemetry, we see that he's got maybe a third of a tank of fuel left. So that looks like around lap 83, somewhere in there. So just around 13, 14 laps or so, or we'll see. Now out in front, you're going to burn more fuel than anybody else on this track.
Yeah, these guys are pretty much throttle wide open here now until more than likely at the end of the race here. That being said, back in the third place spot, Nathan Yarnell has very quietly made his way up to the third place spot there. And he's just kind of hung out there for the last couple 40 laps or so. He's done a great job so far. Brian Jones is another big mover as well.
Yeah, Brian Jones is up 17 spots, currently in fourth. But good move for Brian Yarnell. You take just a quick look at biggest gainers. He tops that list with 17 laps. 17 positions, 17 laps.
Way to the outside there. That's your stage winner into the wall.
And what happened to the 67? Trying to figure out now. Brad Peters, he's actually one lap down behind Roberto Ramirez. Caution flies, and Roberto Ramirez will get his lap back. Seven of Justin Lewis continues to lead. He's got a pretty good strategy there, Noah, just trying to keep that field behind him. It's not like he's really intentionally blocking. He's just running that most competitive line.
Really all you got to do, and we talked about it, stay with the draft. Stay where everybody else is going fast. That's what these guys are trying to do here. And this is a big opportunity for a lot of these guys to try to take the lead here. I'm seeing glimpses of an outside trying to form. They just have to get people who can commit. That's 85 of Lindgren trying to get him to roll with him.
Yeah, he needs all the help he can get. He's got the 20 behind him. That's J.R. Houston. He's going to get closer to that bumper of that 85. Then you see the 3 of Bullard there as well. Also willing to join the party with Paleshi and Allison. Try and find that outside line. "75 laps complete here in Atlanta, 56 laps to go. Your leader, Justin Lewis, out in front with Walker Thomas, Nathan Yarnell, Brian Jones, and Jordan Weaver. That's your top 5. Big of a shakeup so far in the championship rankings. Smalley back to 12 with Walker Thomas now up in P2. Wishing all the way back in 18 and Paleshi in P12. Track's gotten a little warmer, Noah.
It's gone up a couple clicks here. 4 degrees up from since we last checked it, which was about 60 laps ago. So definitely going to start sticking to the track a little bit here with the rubber starting to stick to it a little bit more. But it's going to get a little bit slicker out here. We've seen a lot of movement so far.
Outside line beginning to come together. We're keeping our eye on the 85 of Lindgren. See if they can pull something off here.
Got a couple of damaged race cars in tow with him, the 3 and the 91. He wants to give them a shot at it too. Let's see if he can get a good run going here.
We said somewhere about lap 81, 82, 83. We expect to begin to see sometime in the next 5 or so laps. Of course, this is our best calculation on what that pit strategy looks like. We don't have the telemetry in the car. We don't know what these guys are seeing on their dash, but our estimate says we should be looking for pit stops sometime in the next 3 or 4 laps. But you figure with 51 laps to go, well, there is one taker already. That's the 99 of Marubi. They may have to make one more stop after their next stop, unless they can figure out a way to save fuel. Marubi completes his stop. They have gotten some repairs made during that. Comes out in a 14.75. Again, as we said at the top of the broadcast, iRacing has done some adjustments to the pit stops to kind of mimic what's happening on Sunday. So we expect faster pit times.
It's down to, what is it now, 9 point something, 9.7?
Yeah, we've got plenty of stops from that last pit stop in the 10.45, 10.12, 10.43 range. 10.3. All right, 84 laps complete. Expecting to see these guys on pit road quite soon.
Yeah, great job for Justin Lewis. I mean, he's been doing really good so far here, but look at that red line.
That's our calculation, but we think they should be stopping. They may know better than we do, but we figured 44. That puts us at lap 85. And we expect to see them on pit road momentarily. Oh, Calvin Allison takes a trip off track. Not sure what happened to Calvin. Oh, through the grass.
Oh.
We stay green. He may have been trying to come in on pit road and got a little sideways.
It's a treacherous pit road. I mean, I can't blame him. It's tough. It catches you off guard. You forget that this is the only track in NASCAR that has its entry on the back straightaway, which is still something. But you know, I get why they made the change. It's really hard to slow down that quickly on the bottom line at a drafting track. But like I said, still a good call from NASCAR to change it.
All right, begin to see the 85 creep up. They're making some progress here at that outside line, but you know, I'm concerned that you've got that outside line forming up, but now these guys got to figure out a way to get on pit road.
Yeah, you got to figure out also too, when is everybody else going to go? You may be the only one coming down pit road, and now when the draft comes back around to you, you're pretty much screwed over for the rest of the race. So these guys are going to have to figure out this strategy soon, and I mean, hey, very soon.
Yeah, you know, maybe it's our calculations too. You know, at this point, if they're able, it's now coming up lap 88, lap 89. If they're able to stretch it this time, then this will be the last stop of the race. Because clearly our math is not working out right.
I mean, that's why we're broadcasters and not, you know, scholars or anything like that. We got some sort of everybody out of sorts in the outside line there. That looks like the 85 of Lindgren got kind of out of sorts there, and now he'll concede that lead spot to J.R. Houston in the 20.
Yeah, also I saw the 25, I think, was also rubbing on that safer barrier. He got a bit of the wall with the 3. So definitely a little bit of contact there, but still all good. But we're expecting to see these drivers on pit road anytime. With now just 40 laps left to go.
Hearing on the radio, a couple of cars will be pitting this time by. One of them is your leader, Justin Lewis. That is not a lot of cars coming down pit road.
Nope. Now here you're going to go a lap down, getting on pit road. This is Lewis, Thomas, Paleshi, Merkel, Lindgren, and Michael Anthony now all on pit road. Looking to see if we got a black flag. Yes, a black flag on the 2 of Merkel. Too fast entering onto pit road.
Yeah, he locked his brakes up coming in. I for sure thought that that's what it was going to be.
All right, good stop, and he's out for the 7 of Justin Lewis. That's a 10.8 second stop.
Flying through it.
Now the rest of the field, they find themselves coming down to pit road. That's Jordan Weaver on pit road. Four-tire stop for the 45.
Looks like your leader Yarnell will be pitting this time by as well. The only real thing that's going to get this field back together is if we get a caution here in the next couple of laps or so.
Yeah, now after this round of pit stops here, it's going to just be spread out. But this stop here puts the balance of the drivers who were due. They're getting their stop in. Unfortunately, a black flag was issued to Nathan Yarnell for speeding. Ooh. Nathan's been running up top all race long, and unfortunately, he's got a black flag penalty. He will have to serve that there in the pits. They will hold him. So. He's getting his stop made.
Yeah, really unfortunate there. He was having a really good race. Now Smalley will come down as well. Bostic as well. Both of those drivers have been really quiet since the start of this race here. Don't quite know what happened to Bostic. He just kind of faded off back into the mid-pack of the field. Heck, we all saw what happened to Smalley. Big moment for him. Managed to save the race car. These boys are back in the throttle.
Yeah, they are. Well, funny, Justin Lewis back out in front with the 1 of Walker Thomas. Pileshi is third. Good recovery for the 91 driver, Pileshi. And Zach Lindgren and J.R. Houston. That's your top 5. And they went 50 laps on that set of on that fuel,
which is absolutely unbelievable.
Yep, 35 laps to go here in Atlanta. Your leader, Justin Lewis. Let's bring up those points again just to kind of get a feel for Justin. He could absolutely the need that kind of a boost. He's currently sitting 7th in points, but tied with Michael Anthony in 7th. But absolutely a successful day here would be huge dividends for that driver.
Yeah, Thomas in a good point spot as well. Houston desperately needing some points to stay above that cut line. It's not that far back from about 35 points. And it is really tough to be from 10th on down. It is really tight. Less than 40 points. And how about this turnaround for the 91? Andrew Pileshi involved in an early incident about lap 20 or so, and has now found his way back up inside of the top 3 with 32 to go. Lindgren, a great run for him. He's in the 4th spot. Molly has found his way back up into the top 10 as well.
.32 laps to go. Lewis continues to lead this race. Solid running so far for the 7. Currently in our telemetry, looks like Marco Berubia, the 99, is the first car, I think, a lead lap down. Caution does fly. The 99 will get his lap back. Marco is battling that position with the 67 right there of Brad Peters. So in all actuality, that's actually a battle for position between the 99 and the 67. To the 51 of Kyle Smalley. He now finds himself in 7th as he claws his way back up to the front. He's the lone driver on that outside line. Drops right in there in front of the 3 to hold on to that position.
I've got to applaud him for trying. I mean, he really is trying to get some momentum going. I think so many people right now that are scared to commit to try to getting an outside line started just because of how late it is in the race, and B, how quickly momentum can shift. Not in your favor.
No, in fact, just
try there.
Yeah, just dipping out like that, you'll find yourself potentially cycling all the way back.
Yep.
.28 laps to go. Lewis is unfortunately, Smalley is unfortunately just stuck in this single wide. He really needs another line to form so he can kind of bob and weave his way up to the front. 67 starting it.
I was going to say that 67 is really trying to get up front there. He's been trying the hardest out of everybody.
Yeah, he needs that 51 to say, okay, I'll commit with you. Because he's now the lucky dog. And now he just cycles all the way back. It's like he had that opportunity and then just lost the momentum. And now he's back behind Marco Berube, and now he's lost that opportunity. Up front, same old, same old. You got Justin Lewis out in front. He's got the one of Walker Thomas. Andrew Pileshi is in third, with Zach Lindgren in fourth and J.R. Houston in fifth. And now we got Luke Bullard out there on that outside, and Ty Bostic, both Southern E Motorsports drivers.
I was going to say SEM trying to get a good finish out of this here. They need somebody to commit, and they need them to commit fast.
Yeah, they need the 51 to move up there with them. You see Brad Peters kind of chugging up on that outside line, trying to give them some help. He's not quite made that run enough to get up there. A little bit of a move out up at the front. I thought that one of Bullard had pulled out a bit. I'm sorry, the three of Bullard had pulled out, but no. It's like they're partly got the momentum, and then they kind of lose it, slips back.
Yeah, and I think they just need somebody who's got a boatload of momentum. They need somebody who can push, who can kind of lead the way, cut through this pack. But they have made a couple passes here. They've gone back from where Smalley was now. Now look at where they are, up to the 5th place spot.
All right, a little more action here as we're trying to see now that they're up to the 20th of Bullard is now, I'm sorry, the 3 of Bullard is now, was up to the door of the 20 of J.R. Houston. They just can't seem to get it, but they're getting close. The 67 is there. That's going to help. There's the 51 of Smalley.
There we go.
Joining up on the tail, hoping to try and make a difference.
May be exactly what they needed.
That outside line needs to stay together, form up tight, if they're going to make a charge for the front. With just 19 laps to go. It's odd, the 67 seems to have this, he gets a really good run and then fades back a little bit.
Well, remember, too, he also sustained some damage on the right side when he hit the wall there, so that could be that coming into play as well. Big checkup on the inside line here. That's going to catapult those guys up just a little bit.
3 door-to-door for a bit there with the 20. They fade back a little bit. But they're off about just under a half a second to those leaders. I think they're going to come up to some lap traffic soon enough. I think that's going to be the 14. Potentially.
Michael Anthony.
Yeah. Well, they're on the tail end of the lead laps now. Lap traffic, they're just at the tail end of the lead lap. I could be Michael Anthony and Calvin Allison.
Walker Thomas has been unbelievably patient.
Yes.
I mean, he is just waiting for the right time. You can see him. He's looking for a spot where he can kind of psych out Lewis, try to make him block, get him loose, and try to just get his nose in there. And he's been really patient.
Yeah, he's got, and Justin Lewis has got his teammate Andrew Paleschi right there. They're running 1 and 3. And they needed to be great to have a good finish by the 1320 Enterprise drivers, but again, fly in the ointment is right there as the one of Walker Thomas. This lead back getting close to those lap down car, not the tail end of the lead lap cars. I think also Merkel is in there as well. Merkel's a lap down. Now just 13 laps to go.
Here come these lap cars. This could play a role here. They're going to fight for it for sure to stay on this lead lap.
The 88 goes high.
Merkel does the same. Expect pretty much everybody else to kind of do that as well. Let's see here.
Yeah, these drivers, the 50, 55, and the 14, they're at the tail end of the lead lap.
This could be a race changer right here.
Bogged down a little bit. 7 goes high because the 14 and the 80 and the 55 are taking away the preferred line.
There they go. Now Yarnell's the next car up. Let's see when he will get a move. Go high. No, he won't. He'll duck back down. He'll got some room. He falls right back in with the 1.
10 laps to go.
Looks like he'll go high.
Is a lap down car. He's 2 laps down.
Can he get by him before the 1 though? The 7's got to get back down to the inside, otherwise the 1's going to take it from him. And looks like he will, just barely.
Somebody showed him the move over flag.
Now Jarrett Houston's stuck behind the 55. Stack up.
Yeah, there's 9 laps to go here as we work through the most challenging part of this event with these lap down cars now mixed well into the field. That really impacted that outside line.
We got trouble. We have a
3
car
in the wall.
on pit road.
3 in the wall. He hugs the wall. We stay green. I've got Roberto Ramirez on pit road.
I don't quite know what the deal was with him. I panned back to him and he was just stopped on pit road.
Not sure what he's doing.
Back up front, Justin Lewis. A big chance for the driver of the 7 here. 7 laps to go, make it 6. He'll have the most laps led tonight if he can pull it off. But Walker Thomas, will he stay patient to the end, or is it finally starting to run out? We've seen him bob and weave. really trying to make a move.
Back in the field, you've got lots of action here as these drivers, 51 trying to make his way back up front, looking for, the 4 moves up, and there's 3 wide here with the 22 of Boomer, the 20 in the middle. A little bit of desperation happening here, Noah.
That's what it's looking like. I'm really, really shocked that it's gotten this desperate in the mid-pack this early on. You see this kind of racing usually later on.
Well, 4 laps to go. There's the move by the 1.
Now it got real. Yeah, it's just gotten real now.
The 7's got his teammate behind him.
Yeah, the 88 and the 55 teammates.
The
85 and the 55. I'm sorry.
And the 85 is Elite Motorsports. Door to door here. The one's got it out in front.
So we have 2 Elite Motorsports cars here right behind them. That's the 85 and the 55 working together. That could lead to something.
The 55 is multiple laps down. Justin Lewis gets his lead back, but just 3 laps to go. 2 at the stripe. He needs all the help he can get from the 91 of Pileshi to keep up the push. Just enough to keep him going. You've got the 46 of Jordan Weaver back there as well. He's with balls out, so he's going to want that 1 to move up there.
If you're Justin Lewis, you cannot get too far out. You cannot afford to do that right now, especially.
Caution, the white flag should fly next time by. Oh, a bit of a gap now with the 7 and the 91. That's not going to help. White flag comes out. Next time by, we will crown a winner here in Atlanta.
Next flag will end the race here at Atlanta Motor Speedway. Now Justin Lewis losing the lead a little bit to the inside. Walker Thomas will get the lead. Here comes Zach Lindgren. Now the 1 moves to the inside. Walker Thomas trying to steal a win here at Atlanta Motor Speedway, and he will. Final lap pass, and they are wrecking to the line, and Walker Thomas will pull off a very patient win. Stayed all the way till the end, stayed with it, and he'll pull off the win tonight. Zach Lindgren in second. Brian Jones comes all the way from 21st to finish 3rd, and heartbreak for Justin Lewis. Led almost every lap this race, but the one that mattered.
Oh my gosh. Oh, I feel so bad for the 7 of Lewis.
Pileshi 5th. What a comeback for Pileshi as well.
All right, stay tuned. We'll have interviews with Thomas, Lindgren, and Brian Jones as we watch the 1 of Walker Thomas celebrate his victory. So he makes his way back up to the start-finish line.
Great win for Walker Thomas, and that really is what patience looks like right there. Got the push that he needed. Was able to stick with it. Let's go ahead and take a look at your race results here. Take a look at the awards first. Brian Jones is your hard charger, up from 18 positions. Justin Lewis, 86 laps led. He will get the most laps led award tonight. Fastest lap was John Ledger, 29.266, blazing fast for John Ledger. And Kyle Smalley was your pole winner tonight. He rebounds for 8th place after an early incident. Let's take you through your top 10. Walker Thomas will pull off a huge win tonight. Zach Lindgren in 2nd. Brian Jones in 3rd. Heartbreak for Justin Lewis. He'll finish 4th after leading 86 laps. 5th is Andrew Pileshi. 6th is Jordan Weaver. 7th, J.R. Houston. Kyle Smalley will finish 8th. Ty Bostic in 9th. And Jared Wishon in 10th.
Marcus Adams finishes in 11th with Aaron Jackson in 12th. Jeremy Brown in 13th with John Ledger in 14th. Michael Anthony in 15th. Brad Peters in 16th. Calvin Allison in 17th. Marco Bruby in 18th with Nathan Yarnell in 19th. Todd Merkel in 20th. Luke Bullard, Roberto Ramirez, Casey Herschel, and David Watts round out the field. All right, let's see. We don't have anybody quite yet. That was a heartbreak for some of these drivers. Let's see if we can find Brian Jones here. Here he is. Let's move him up to the broadcast booth. Let's see. Brian Jones, congratulations. Can you hear us?
Thank you. Yeah, I got you.
All right. Well, you started back at the tail end of the field, and now here you are.
Yeah, all thanks to drafting track where it takes almost no skill to get to the front. But hey, we got it done. Avoided the wrecks. May have been in one at the beginning, but I don't know. It was better than some nights this season.
Yep, absolutely. Well, congratulations on your success tonight. Any shout outs tonight?
Big shout out to the wife Alanis. Shout out to Home Field Apparel for supporting not only this car but our dirt racing career. Shout out to Apex Coffee Roasters. Use code Alanis20 at checkout. And shout out to Weiss Sand and Clay. If you're in the Houston area and need some sand or clay or any other materials, go to Weiss Sand and Clay. Shout out to JR. I kind of took him 3 wide there because I was mad that the 51 took me 3 wide. So sorry to him. That's a teammate. Should have probably pushed him. Feel bad about it.
Okay. Well, congratulations on your finish. We transition from this super speedway to a short track next week.
Love it. Hopefully no wrecks there either.
Yep, sounds great. All right, that's Brian Jones finishing 3rd here in Atlanta. With that, let's go ahead and grab Zach Lindgren here and bring him into the broadcast booth. Go, Zach. Congratulations on your finish.
Yeah, I appreciate it. Yet again, bridesmaid, not the bride. Yeah. Man, there's not much to say about that one. It was typical Atlanta behavior.
Yep. Definitely a challenging track here for sure. You moved up 9 spots from where you qualified. You stayed. If I look at the telemetry and the graph, you're really, you were all the way back in P19, but you were able to keep it together, especially in that last green flag run.
Yeah, when we got up to the high side, I just kind of wanted to see what the high side was going to do, and it was so weird. The runs just ebb and flowed. It didn't really matter if I had somebody on me or not. The car would take off, and then it would just die as soon as I got up to 4th or 5th, and again, I'd fall back to 7th or 8th, and it would just randomly get a run again. So it was really weird being up top, and I thought I was going to run out of fuel there for a second. I couldn't get down. I kind of got lucky when I did get down and where I got down, and I kind of got lucky again coming out with who I came out with. I figured we were probably going to be one of the first groups to get up front and do something, and that all kind of worked out. And luckily, lapping one of my teammates, he ended up right behind me, so that also really helped it. It just sucks. Like I said, we were on the high side. We were running really, really well with me and Walker up there. It's just really difficult when you're behind someone. The car gets super tight. So when I got tight behind him on that last lap, I was really hoping that Nathan would give me a big shot, and it just kind of all fell apart right there at the end. So, again, we'll take a 2nd place. That's good. That's a good points day, regardless of how you shake it up. That's a good points day. But, 3 second places. I think I've had like a total of like 4 or 5. It's kind of getting annoying. I want the 1st place.
Well, you were close, but not quite there.
Yeah. If we keep putting ourselves there, it'll happen at some point. So, yep. I mean, I can't complain with 2nd place runs. Congrats to Walker. He ran right where he should have. Again, had to push somebody out to the win. This is starting to become my MO. But no, again, if we keep running up here, it'll happen at some point. We just got to keep that consistency up.
Absolutely. Well, congratulations on your P2 finish. Any shout outs tonight?
Yeah, give a huge shout out to NASCAR Diecast fans, RMEF, Elite Designs, Whataburger for being on the car. Huge shout out to Premier Setups. I think Jared said last week it's been a wacky year, but we're glad to have them on the team with us. Everybody at Elite Motorsports for kind of keeping our heads cool. Again, this is like you said, a very difficult, very hard track to get around. Not one of my favorites by any stretch of the imagination. So it's good to have teammates that keep you cool and keep you composed in a race like this. So a huge shout out to every single one of them. You guys up here in the booth doing what you do, dedicating your time to the league admins. I know this last week there's a bit of turmoil, but I feel like this was a pretty good race to kind of come back out of it. So a huge shout out to the league admins that run it. That's all I got for this week, brother.
Okay, well, congratulations. Again, that's Zach Lindgren finishing here second at Atlanta. And with that, we'll move our winner into the broadcast booth. Walker Thomas brings it home and gets the win here in Atlanta.
Yeah, that's I think the first time I've ever won a drafting race at or in a league. Always seem to have bad luck in these things, but I stayed up front most of the night and kept myself out of trouble and had a little bit of help from some friends and finally got it done.
Walker, you were second for 86 laps straight. I mean, that's just pure patience is what that is. What was going through your mind there for those 86 long laps in second? I mean, obviously, you know, you're thinking late in the race. You don't want to get anything done too early. I mean, you saw what happened. You were there on the last lap, saw the moves that got made. Take us through those last couple of laps there as you started seeing holes opening up for the lead.
Yeah, I definitely some patience trying to, just stick behind Justin. When he called out to pit, I just thought it was working well. Pit from P2, hopefully come out P2, and that worked out. So staying single file made it a lot easier to try to not get too racy. But I just tried to wait it out until I saw the top line really form, and it really didn't. So coming down to with like around 5 to go, I think the top got some numbers, and the lap cars that we came around, they kind of mixed it up just a little bit. And I know Nate and Zach got hooked up and kind of saw that happening and just timed the run on Justin, and yeah, it worked out.
Well, congratulations on your win. That absolutely puts you in some rare company here. But that's 3 so far this season.
Yeah, it's been a while too. I think Charlotte was the last one back in May. So there's been some good runs, between there, but really have lacked a little bit of the pace I would hope for. Matthew and Kyle have been class of the field this year, and hopefully I can bridge that gap a little bit coming down the stretch. But yeah, definitely a little bit of a confidence boost.
Well, congratulations on that. So next week we go from a super speedway to a short track. Any thoughts for North Wilkesboro?
Yeah, it'd be fun to go back to a short track. It's been a while. I feel like we got stuck in the road course part of the schedule and just some odd ovals, not really your typical stuff. So it's been a while. I'm looking forward to it. Hopefully we'll have a decent field, may even see some lap cars come into play, and yeah, it should be fun.
Sounds good. All right, so with that, shout outs tonight, Walker.
Yeah, just as always, shout out to my balls out teammates. I don't think we really all had the finish we hoped tonight, but still grabbed a couple of top 10s and obviously the win as well. So shout out to those guys. Shout out to Zach for that push down the back. Definitely helped getting me clear. I couldn't have done it without him, and Zach's a good friend. So glad he chose to actually help me this week. He struggles with doing that with his own teammates sometimes, but no, I kid. We give him a hard time all the time. And then just last diecast fans, always being on the car. Make sure to use code DFans at Circle B for $6 off shipping.
You got it. All right, folks, there's your winner tonight here in Atlanta. Walker Thomas brings it home for the 3rd time this season. Noah, any thoughts?
No, I mean, just great racing tonight. It's kind of exactly what we expected from Atlanta. I will be honest with you, I'm shocked we didn't see a caution in the last 20 laps, but I just think that made the racing 10 times better. It made the win way sweeter for Walker Thomas, leading the pretty much the only lap that mattered there. And excellent win for Walker Thomas. There's a lot of guys here that are going to be hungry going into North Wilkesboro next week. A lot of the short track aficionados, Justin Lewis, Ty Bostic, those guys are really going to be hungry for a win going into the next couple of races here. But great race tonight, great win for Thomas and the rest of these guys. And if that was any preview of to what the next couple of races are going to be like, it's going to be a wild one to the chase.
Well, I agree. I also just realized that I was just told that this is Walker Thomas's birthday. He didn't fill us in.
There you go.
Yeah, congratulations.
Awesome.
All right, well, folks, thanks so much for tuning in to the IWM broadcast of the IWM Cup Series here in Atlanta. Next week, as you probably figured out, we will be in North Wilkesboro. Tomorrow night, if you'd love to see some additional racing and you want to see North Wilkesboro, tune in for the INRS Racing Series. But for Noah and myself, we congratulate Walker Thomas on the victory and call it a night. So good night, folks, and have a great night. We'll see you next week.